Happy Thanksgiving week, everyone. I hope you have a good turkey, ham, or brisket dinner, or whatever your wife or mother has prepared. And I hope you have good company with family and friends, and be thankful for what God's given us all this year. And today we will be shooting and demonstrating the Colt 1851 Navy. This is my Pieta conversion of said gun. And we'll be discussing a cartridge. It's original, one of its original cartridges that it started out using in the gunfighter era in the 1860s and 70s. Let's get to it. Hello. Today we're going to be talking about a historic cartridge called the 38 Short Colt. That's this one right here. It is one of the earliest cartridge conversion rounds when they transferred over from ball and cap to cartridge encased cartridges for specifically the 1851 and 61 Navy revolvers. This would be in the 1860s, 70s. I believe there's a variant called the 38 rimfire as well, but it's not the same thing. This is a centerfire cartridge, whereas rimfire does not have the primer in the center. It's built into the cartridge, just like a modern 22 long rifle. But this is 38 short Colt. This is 38 long Colt for comparison right here. This is a 125 grain heeled base bullet. This is a 150 grain hollow base bullet. Both serve the same purposes of being able to make contact with the rifling of said 51-61 Navy revolvers. This is a 38 special with a 158 grain lead round nose bullet. This is a 357 Magnum with a 170 grain bullet. And I'll just kind of illustrate partially how these things are crimped. I'm not sure I can show reloading data on here anymore, so I'll kind of forgo that. But I will show you, once this thing is powdered and loaded, how you crimp it with the Old West bullet molds die. Okay, here's the shell holder, the special brass shell holder from Old West bullet molds for the 38 short Colt. Here's the crimping die that comes with that. Give it a little force. It gives it a pretty decent little crimp, just to make sure, just enough to be able to go into the chamber. Okay, this is a 38, a 36 Navy Colt bullet, 125 grain, using an Old West bullet mold, Arrows Gone By bullet mold, Lee mold. You saw me doing this in a short recently, molding these in the garage. I was going to try to use these to make 38 short Colt as well, but the diameter of the heel, see this heel at the bottom, how it's a little bit shorter than everything else? That's supposed to be so it fits in the cylinder of a ball and cap revolver. Unfortunately, its diameter is just a little too wide to fit into this case. I tried every which way I knew how, and it just wouldn't work. It's a tapered. It's small here, larger here, tapering, but even at its smallest point here, it's just too wide and will not allow this, once this is seated, to fit into the chamber of the gun. So I went to Old West bullet molds and got these. These are 38 Colt bullets, same weight, 125 grain, with a heel base, a little bit longer, but the base is able to fit in this if you widen it enough, but it won't be, once you crimp it, it won't be wide enough to obstruct inserting into the chamber. So that's the difference. Just note that these will not work. They're great for ball and cap, but they will not work they will not interchange over with cartridge guns. So it's been a learning experience, a lot of fun. So moving on. .38 short Colt out of my 1851 Navy conversion. That was a light load, I gotta say. It felt almost like shooting a 22. But that's about 14 grains of black powder, my homemade brand. Not the best in the world, of course. I may get some of my leftover Swiss and try it out. But I gotta say, that was fun. And of course, that was black powder. That was probably a GoX 2F that I used in the shotgun, this Remington Spartan. That's my dad's, for a little fun. Buckshot. But yeah, this is a little easier on this old Pieta Navy. So I decided to kind of go that way, and it's more historically accurate, more how people really would have done it. You'll notice that the groove for lubricating the bullet is outside. It's not a whole lot in there. I didn't notice on this one, but let me see. Yeah, that's better. Let me see if I can get that on the camera right. Yeah. You put the lubrication here in the groove on the outside of the bullet, not inside the case. The groove does not go down into the case. This whole bullet is really, it's not .357, it's .375. It's almost a 40 caliber bullet. Larger bullet, 125 grain. I bought these off Old West bullet molds. Tried forever to do the 125 grain conicals for the Colt conicals, but they just wouldn't work in these cases. They were just, the diameter of the heel was a little too wide. These are heeled base bullets that fit right down snug into these cases. And you're using less powder. It's a little more fun, more historically accurate. I forgot to bring my ejector rod out here. I guess I could get a stick, but there are a few bugs I'm trying to work out in this little gun. But that was a lot of fun. It's a fun gun to shoot, fun to carry. I appreciate your watching. If you like this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.